When Maya Sapirka started her biomedical PhD program at UC San Diego, she assumed she'd follow the traditional route when she finished.
I think most people go into grad school thinking that they're going to go into academia, they're going to be a professor, they're going to run their own lab.
Now that Sapirka is nearing graduation, she sees things differently.
I'm really hoping to get into policy work, serving some kind of role, communicating science to legislators, being sort of a go-between between the public and the government, and sort of communicating science to non-scientists.
Sapirka's shift away from pursuing professorships is part of a national trend. More PhD students are now getting jobs in the private industry, not academia, according to the National Science Foundation. A big part of the reason is that academic jobs are hard to find. In the last 30 years, the number of people earning science PhDs has skyrocketed. Meanwhile, the number of science professorships has barely increased. There are now more than 7 times as many science PhD graduates as science professors, according to the National Science Foundation. It says less than 20% of science students are able to land jobs as professors within 5 years. But before you start feeling bad for all those people with doctor in front of their names, know that private companies want to hire them. So says Mary Walshock, the dean of UC San Diego Extension.
There's a demand increasingly for people with higher and higher level skills, more knowledge, more sophistication.
She says PhD students have those skills, but may not know how to fit in corporate culture.
You go through a PhD program and you start thinking, I'm really an expert, I'm really a specialist. Yes, if you're going to be in a classroom. Yes, if you're going to be doing research for scholarly journals.
But not if you're working to develop a drug for market or make a presentation to investors. Walshock says PhD students aren't taught how to manage a team, work on a tight timeline, or communicate with non-scientists. So this year, UCSD started a program called Grad Vantage. It's to help PhDs fit in with the private industry. Jonathan Monk is a chemical engineering PhD student at UCSD and helped come up with the idea for Grad Vantage last year. He says they talked to local companies such as Qualcomm and Illumina to find out what skills students are lacking.
It was really enlightening to me because they said, look, we love graduate students, their technical skills are unsurpassed, they're great, but they often lack, one thing that was interesting, they lack humility. They always think they're right.
Sometimes it's better to play well with others, so Grad Vantage will give an intensive 4-day workshop on communication skills and how to work well in a team.
A lot of grad students, I'd say, have a very linear relationship with their advisor and research. It's kind of just them and the advisor working on a project. They might not have a lot of experience working in a big team of people on something that has to get done in the next week.
But not all PhD students are ready to give up academic dreams. Cosmo Buffalo will finish his PhD in biochemistry at UCSD this fall.
The idea of, the academic lifestyle and this constant, maybe the romantic side of it, this intellectual pursuit that comes with that.
Buffalo knows academic jobs are extremely competitive, but still hopes to become a professor. First, he'll look for work as a postdoc, a temporary research job meant to prepare new graduates for academia.
The goal is to only do one, and sometimes you can do 2 and still eventually be able to get a faculty position. It's implied, though, that if you can't do it after 1, that usually you have to start looking for other job prospects.
If that happens, he joined the vast majority of grad students who trade ivory towers for office buildings. Claire Tregesser, KPBS News.